Good morning, welcome back to Planet Doug, and I'm in the city of Medan in North Sumatra, just leaving from my hotel. It's behind me there on this street, and as I've talked about in other videos, a useful landmark for finding this area is this giant water tower, which I've since learned was built by the Dutch. So it's like 100 years old or something like that. Don't quote me on that date. But it is a very impressive building. I'm still confused about the windows on the outside. I don't know why you would need light going into a water tank, but I don't know. Maybe someone knows the answer to that question. And as always, Medan is busy. This area in particular is subject to endless traffic snarls. This road gets very busy, and if you don't time it properly with the lights, you can end up waiting at these intersections for a very long time. So I guess we got a green light. The race is off. There they go. So I guess I can get across here. You don't get a lot of help as a pedestrian. No one really thinks anybody is going to walk in Medan. But that's what I do anyway. Sometimes I walk. This afternoon, I'm heading to a couple of places in my neighborhood that I've wanted to check out for a while, and I thought I'd bring along my GoPros, record a little bit of this place. A funny thing is, when I go to these places overseas, I often have no idea where I'm going. Okay. Oh yeah. Go ahead. There's a woman there listening to a radio, said something to me, but I don't know what she said. I think she said donut. That's what it sounded like in English. Anyway, there's a museum not that far away, but I don't really know what kind of a museum it is. The Google Translate calls it a plantation museum. So that doesn't give me a lot of information. I don't know why there would be a museum about plantations or what the word plantation means in the context of Sumatra. This is a very busy place, very tricky place even for a pedestrian to get by here. And the railroad tracks again, because my hotel is not that far away from the train station. It's just down there around the corner. These things always interest me. Hello, how are you? They fix flat tires and do simple repairs, but you see a lot of them right on the corners. But anyway, this Plantation Museum, it looks like a very interesting place. Very small museum, 2 or 3 floors, and it's one of those places I think where the building where it's located is as interesting or even more interesting than the contents. So I thought I would check it out and check out the building and go in for a walk around. I think it costs 35,000 rupiah for a foreigner, and that might include a little bit of a guided tour, or maybe you have to pay extra for that, I'm not sure. So that's the main place where I'm going. And I noticed when I was looking at Google Maps, I'll turn my GoPro around just because this is sort of an interesting neighborhood. Show what it looks like. I pointed this out before, all of these paintings on the cement columns holding up the railroad tracks. And then some of the other buildings have some graffiti art as well. But these are all very nice, I think. horas, it says up there at the top, which is kind of a local greeting. There's another one of the pieces of art here. I was a little bit worried about heading outside because of the weather. We seem to be heading into a major rainy season again. Everyone tells me to be really careful because every day it's just going to be raining all the time. But that's the story of my life. Yeah, look at that one. Very cool. But it feels like it's going to rain. The air just is really heavy and it's very hot and humid here. I've arrived at the street where I need to turn left to go to this Plantation museum. And there's another piece of wall art here. Looks very cool, very bright and cheerful. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it very clearly, but there's the base and the top. Yeah, I'm sure this means something in terms of the history or something to do with Medan, the people of Indonesia, but whoa. I don't think I noticed this one before. I have to walk back a little bit, take a look at this one. Yeah, Medan high-speed therapy. So these are the vans that people use, like for public transportation here. They ride up and down the main streets. You can hop on, hop off. Kind of the local buses, as it were. All right. Just a couple of blocks away to get to this museum. Hopefully I have good timing and I arrived just as the rains hit. And then this other place I mentioned, the post office building, is just down the street a couple of blocks. So I'm going to go to this museum first. And then if there's time, I'll check out this other place. I just want to see what it is. It's a mystery right now. I don't know if it's a post office or a shopping mall now, or I have no idea what it is. The only way to find out these things is to physically go places. And I'm fairly sure that this area is the historic center of Medan. And I say that because there are so many historic buildings. So this building where I'm going, that has the Plantation Museum, was built by the Dutch during the Dutch colonial era. So a lot of these buildings would have been built by the Dutch. Oh, there's a very interesting street. Might have to head down that way just to see what's there. Actually, I think I'll do that right now. So one thing I've learned in my life is when you have an impulse to duck down a little alleyway or something, you just do it when you're there. Otherwise, you'll forget about it. And this always happens to me because I'll be going towards a place, you know, like this museum. That's my destination. But then I'll get sidetracked and never end up where I want to go. Apa kabar? So yeah, so again, this looks like part of the historic core of Medan. There's even a sidewalk, which is very cool. A little buffet restaurant over there. Looks like it might be a textile district. I've seen a number of textile shops already. The rain is starting a little bit. Yeah, a lot of textile shops here. Seems to be what it is. Yeah, a lot of dressmaking.
Hello.
Hello, apa kabar? Hi. Yeah. Oh, I think this is the rear entrance of the other museum here. The, what is it called? I forget the name of it. Jai Tung Phi. Let me look this up real quick. Yeah, it's called Zhong Phi. And I knew it was over there, but I'm surprised to see another entrance, which means this place is huge, much larger than I expected, because the distance from this street to the next street is like a very big block. So this mansion of this wealthy Hakka, like a Chinese Hakka merchant, so his mansion would fill the interior of that entire block. So the thing is huge.
Mister.
Hello, how are you?
How?
Apa kabar?
Baik saja.
Baik, baik. I noticed a lot of men around the city selling back scratchers right now on the streets. So there must have been a big shipment of back scratchers came into the city. Yeah, look at this. Very interesting area. This whole alleyway here as well. It's all textiles and dressmaking shops, the entire length. And on the other side as well. This isn't even the main street. This is just one of the side alleyways. From end to end, all textiles and dressmaking shops. And then this is the main street continuing on. So I made it to the end of the street and I turned around and walking back up again. And this is the name of the street, by the way, Jalan Perniagaan. Yeah. So Textile Street. Yeah. And yeah, very cool street. Yeah, even inside. You can go through some interior areas as well. Wow. It's a lot of wholesale, I would think. Again, you get a sense of the history of Medan here, the old buildings. And I think I'll duck down this side street. So as I work my way back, I'll go by the Zhong'afi mansion from the other side, from the entrance. So we have some sort of a snack here. It says Kue Kukur. Donuts. Kue Kukur. Oh, and it's halal? Halal. Ya, it's Muslim food. Berapa harganya?
1.000,
1.000?
50.
That's 50.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Terima kasih. Yeah, you can get some snacks along here, and they have some artwork here. So this is what I got. Some donuts, but I don't know what they taste like. We'll find out. This is interesting. I started to hear that I was like getting really noisy, but I wasn't paying attention. But now I hear that bird call, and these are the buildings where they have nests for bird nest soup, you know, the special birds, and they make it's a delicacy, you know, they make a soup from the nests. But that sound is not the birds, it's actually a recording to attract the birds. So I think there must be speakers here somewhere. It's way too loud to be real birds. That's what people have been telling me anyway. But I don't know if I see any speakers. Anyway. Very, very loud. Yeah, they have to be speakers. It's amplified. So let's try one of these donuts. 5,000 rupiah for 5 of them. So I guess they're 1,000 rupiah each. I don't taste anything in particular, so there's no like coconut or anything like that. It's good though. Not too sweet, just sweet enough, I think, to be called a donut. There's definitely something on the inside. There's an outer batter and then an inner something or other that I'm chewing through. It's good. So here we are back on the main street, and this is, I pointed this out in another video, this is Zhong'afi, the mansion. Again, I think this one is 100 years old, maybe even older, and it's been preserved. You can go in for a tour. But I'm not going in today. I'm heading towards this other museum, and I think I see it directly ahead of me. Fingers crossed it's open. With my luck, you know, everything tends to be closed. 1919 up at the top. So I believe that is it there. Look at that building. Wow. Okay, that is worth the effort of coming here. As I said, I often find the buildings that museums are housed in to be as interesting or more interesting than the museums themselves. The building is 3 stories. Clock tower. And the clock, yeah, the clock is accurate. It's about 5 to 2. And the front doors are open. Amazing. Yeah, it's stopping to take all that in. Look at the balconies all the way around. And I wouldn't call these, the windows on the corner, I wouldn't call it stained glass, but there's something special going on with that glass. And you can see another building right beside it, that white one. Also a historic building, I'm sure. Right beside the museum is a cafe. Look at that. Avros Cafe, Monday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10. So doesn't that mean 7 days a week? Yeah, it's open every day. And I believe this is the one of the names of the museum. And I think there might be 2 of them, like 2 branches of the same museum. And there's the entrance to the coffee shop. And the building has some interesting photos on the outside. Okay, that definitely looks like a plantation, so clearly this would make sense that it is a museum about agriculture. It says here that the Dutch governor in India sent Arabica coffee seedlings from Yemen to the Dutch governor of Jakarta in 1696. The first seedlings failed. The second shipment was sent in 1699. So, yeah, the coffee came from India, or no, from Yemen. Coffee harvesting in a company in Dutch East Indies, 1900. So maybe that explains the mystery of why there is a plantation museum. Maybe it's all about coffee. So this is the main entrance right here. The harga, the price. So locals, 25,000. For foreigners, 35,000. Gives you a tour and a guide and a souvenir, apparently. Buka means open. Oh, check that out. They have a brochure, the map of the location, and some information about the museum, all in Indonesian and English. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
Good, good, good.
You want to go to the museum?
I do.
Exciting?
I would like to go inside, yeah?
Okay, but before you go, so we have a ticketing fee.
Yep.
Okay for you?
Yep, yep.
This is 35,000 for where are you come from?
Canada.
Okay.
So I'm definitely a foreigner.
Okay.
I'm making a video for YouTube.
Okay.
Is that okay to go through? Because I have a GoPro camera.
It's okay, it's okay.
There's 35,000.
Okay, and this is we have a ticket. I will stick in your.
Okay. I'm a little bit sweaty right now. It's very hot in Medan for me.
It's okay. So, and this is our souvenir for you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And this is for your drink. Okay.
Thank you. Do you mind if I put a microphone on you?
That microphone is okay.
Yeah, because I have a microphone here.
I want to take my phone because we have. It's okay for you if I take your photo.
Of course, yeah.
For our documentation.
All right, so a lovely young woman came out to tell me a little bit about the museum, and I got a souvenir. I haven't opened it yet. I assume it's a little bit of coffee. You know, what else could it be, right? A little bit of coffee. And they give you some water, and she's going to take me on a tour. So yeah, let's do that.
Okay, thank you for coming, Dogus.
Thank you.
My name is Cindy.
What is your name?
Cindy.
Cindy.
Okay. So I will get you to looking for to sightseeing in our museum. So this is that called is Plantation Museum, and this building has been here since 1919.
I saw that on the clock tower.
That's right. So before it's made to the museum, this is the office, administration office of Afros. If you know about the Afros is the Dutch company who manage some administration of planters or plantation workers.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the old building or heritage building. So you can come in, and this is the owner of this museum, Mr. Sujai Kartasasmita. Before that, we have the two museums. Actually, we have two museums in Medan. The first one is just 1 or 2 kilometers from here.
Okay.
And this is in here is the second one. Okay, so we talk about the plantation more actually in this first museum, but it's okay because you come to our second museum, it's okay. I will give you some information about the plantation too.
Okay.
Okay, please come in. And what we talk about the plantation is like the commodities, some of commodities of plantation, like the first one, if you can see that, is the tobacco. You know about the tobacco leaf? Have
Tobacco.
you ever seen? Huh?
Okay. Tobacco.
And this is the second one. We have the coffee, and then this is tea.
Tea.
And this is tea, and this is the cacao or chocolate.
Oh, chocolate.
And then this is the rubber, and this sugar cane, and then the last one is the palm oil.
Is what?
Palm oil.
Palm oil. Okay.
Because in Indonesia is especially in Sumatra is really known about the palm oil.
Right.
But the first commodity about the plantation is the tobacco and the rubber.
Right.
So at the past, in 1919, this museum is the Dutch company who talk about the rubber.
Right.
So this is the museum who talk about the plantation because we have so many history of plantation at the past.
Okay.
And this is our main collection.
What kind of collection?
This is the archive or the database of the plantation workers who coming outside in Sumatra, like from China and then Malay and especially coming from Java.
Oh, I
so
see.
many people come to Medan or to Sumatra for working in plantation, and this is like their database. Some of them has been used Dutch language, and some of them an Indonesian language. This is we have still the Dutch language.
Oh, I see.
It's all about the name and where I come from and where they work in plantation, and this is their fingerprint.
Fingerprints, but no photograph.
Yes, right, no photograph. They just use the fingerprint. And this is some database who talk about their record in plantation, their work in plantation.
Interesting.
Because at the past, this building from Afros, they do some administration about this one.
Did they have workers from India as well?
Yes, they have. At the past, in plantation, they have some workers coming from India, but we don't find about their database. Maybe we can find.
I see. Okay.
And then this is one. This is our another collection. This is coming from tobacco.
Right.
It's really known as the cigar.
Right.
In Indonesian, we call it cerutu. In Indonesian, in bahasa, we call it as cerutu. So That's one, the tobacco leaf. This one. So we have the tobacco leaf look like this, and then make to the cigar like that.
Right. Okay.
This is the real one, the tobacco leaf.
Because I know in Indonesia, smoking is still quite popular.
Yes.
A lot of men, in particular, still
That's
smoke.
right.
Yeah.
But in your country, it's not like
No,
that. No,
not so.
They,
When I was young,
yes.
there were a lot of people who smoked, but today, not so many.
And this is there's another.
It's okay.
Yes, it's okay. So this is one. This is what we call as the male leaf. So this is connecting to the second floor.
Oh, I see.
To send some later. But it's not working anymore because it's too old.
Right.
So it's just the foundation about this.
So that's like the old
right.
internet
Yes, right.
to send an email.
Yes, right.
Yes, yes,
But it's just for the second floor.
Only second floor.
For connecting the second floor. And this is, we have the flower of the palm oil. Maybe what you know about the palm oil, because some people from Europe is just have a negative mind about the palm oil.
That's true.
But actually in Indonesia, especially Sumatra, is really the main product of plantation.
Right.
And in your right, we have the collection coming from Dutch, because we have agreement with some museum, with a museum that called Rotterdam Siloid Museum in Amsterdam.
Oh, I see.
So they send some their collection about the Rotterdam Siloid ship, because at the past they have their own company. So many people come to Medan, to Sumatra, use this ship. So this is one of the miniature of their ship.
Oh, interesting.
They bring some people to come to Sumatra, coming from India to Malaysia and another country, use this here. And in your right, your left, this is like the situation at the past, look like from outside this building. And you still the letter Afros, but it's not anymore because it's changed to the Indonesian company.
I see. Oh, so that was the name of a company?
Afros. Afro is this one.
Oh.
Gemini Vereniging van Rubber Planters ter Oosten van Sumatra. Or the Association of Rubber Planters.
Ah. Because I saw the coffee shop there.
Yes, right. The coffee shop is our facilities in museum.
Okay.
And this is there's a chocolate and the candle coming from palm oil.
Oh, I
so
see.
the palm oil, not for just oil, front oil, but they change to the candle or the chocolate too.
Oh, interesting.
And this is like in your souvenir, we give you a pack of tea, like this one.
Oh, okay. So that's tea.
Yes, right. This is a black tea. Yeah. It's coming from our plantation too in Sumatra.
Yeah. She was telling me about the products from the palm oil and tea as well, and it turns out that in the souvenir bag that they give you, this contains tea, special tea, like a tea bag, and a candle.
Yes, right.
And the candle is made from
palm oil.
From palm oil as well. So there you go, a little souvenir bag.
And so we have the product of the sugar too, from our sugar plantation too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is one. And this is medicine or herbal. It's coming from rempah-rempah. What we call in Indonesian is like spices called in English, but in Indonesian call it as rempah-rempah.
Okay.
Maybe you just know about the spices, the name of the spices. So they have a mix of cinnamons, and then a mix of pepper, and then a mix of clove, this one.
And cloves.
That's right. Oh. And this is, we have our currency, or our what we call is token in Indonesian. So each plantation, every plantation, they have their own currency. So people who work in Binjai, maybe example in Binjai plantation, they got the money just like this one, but they not use their money to another plantation.
Oh,
They just spend their money in Binjai.
Even different shapes.
Yes, right.
Yeah, interesting. I'd never heard of that before.
That's right. This is the unique of the plantation era.
Interesting.
And this is the picture in the situation of our labor in Belawan. So the boat of coming from Rotterdam Solid is like this one, and some people waiting for the boat.
Okay. So even back in those days, Belawan was the main port?
Yes,
For
right.
all the ships
Until
coming
now.
in and out until now.
Okay.
Have you been to Belawan?
Yes, I have go
Okay.
there, but I never use boat to go to another country or to another province. This one, okay. Coming to this room, okay. There's so many the old thing in this room because we have. This is about these things.
Again, going back to my high school,
Oh,
we used to use those in school.
okay.
Yeah, that must seem funny to you. know,
Yes,
so young.
right. Some
But yeah.
people really, what is one,
No, then, yeah, when I went to school, we would watch films using that.
That's right. So at the past in Indonesian to use this one because so many people from the other country coming to Indonesia. And the picture, this is in this room, like this one. This is the room of the director of this company. Now used as the coffee shop
Oh,
in front of
okay.
them. Right. This is the old picture.
And that's now
from
the coffee
director.
shop.
That's right. Now we use as the coffee shop, and you can see that the cupboard at there, we still use it.
Oh,
And this is the first director of this Afros Association company. This one. And this is the connecting to the, actually, that I said before, this is the director room from the
Okay.
coffee shop. And this one, this room, for the secretary.
Oh,
Yes,
so that's
right.
the coffee shop.
That's right. So we have another secret stair in here too, for
Okay.
connecting to the second floor.
Nice. Looks very nice.
Okay, we move to another room. So I will show you the room. Yes. If you want to take record in this area, it's okay, but
I
it's
see.
not.
I see.
Just in here.
Okay.
Because we have the authentic mirror that we call it as the patri. In Dutch, they call it a patri.
Battery.
Patri mirror.
Yeah, I saw it from the outside,
Yes,
and I wondered whether it was like stained glass, and then that's what it is. Yeah, stained glass. Yeah, very nice.
Okay, we move to another floor.
Okay. So it's still active today.
Yes, for the second and the third floor, still active as the association too. At the past is Afros, but now in Indonesian association.
Okay. So Cindy was just telling me that the this organization
Yes,
is
I-
still active today. So they're still doing business, doing their work, and they have offices on the second and third floor. So I can't go in there with my camera, of course. That's not part of the museum. So now we're up on the third floor.
Yes,
Yeah, third floor. And this is more of the the stained glass that I saw from the outside. It's very nice. And these are all the balconies I saw.
Yes, the balcony is okay for the record. You can see the outside of this
Right.
building coming from here.
Right.
This is the beautiful side in
So this
here.
is from the third floor,
the third floor.
and it would have looked very different back in 1919. Nice. What I love about old buildings like this, they would always have balconies. You don't see that often, like in a modern construction. You don't get an office building, with beautiful balconies like this. on the 4th floor is the
right.
rest of the museum, right? So we're heading up to 4th floor now. Look at these amazing staircases. Yeah, you have to be a little bit careful.
Be careful, because it's most
Spiral.
of them still this wood. The floor still use wood.
That's amazing.
Where it's the top of this building.
Yeah, it's getting warmer too.
Yes,
when we come up here because we're close to there's the ceiling
That's
of the whole building up there.
Maybe if you can wait until 3 o'clock, you can see the bell clock is functional. Be careful.
Oh, look at that. Oh, I guess we can get closer to it in here.
Maybe just like 30 minutes more. Okay.
Wow.
So we reached the top of this building. This is still, the bell is still ring until now.
And it rings
Every 30 minutes.
every 30 minutes.
And maybe you can wait until 30 minutes more that the bell will ring.
So there's the clock tower mechanism. Wow.
Wow.
So there's the pendulum driving the whole mechanism.
This you can see, you can record here from here.
So you can get a close-up view of it.
Okay. Just this is more the minute.
And there's the weight of the pendulum weight. Two of them, one on that side, and then one over there on that side.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure how to read that.
This is right. This is for the old toilet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Have to check that out.
This is the old toilet
Yeah.
at this room. Yes, that's right. Yes, this is really the big one. And this is
all
some
these.
picture before is made to museum. And
Right.
before this floor is for saving or storage room.
Oh. There's a whole bunch of
This is,
before and after photographs of
That's
this
right.
floor.
That's before. This is now our office in the first floor, but before it's for saving some documents room.
So when did the museum open?
The museum open to public start from 1 year ago, 2022.
Ah, okay, that makes
2022,
sense.
but actually it's open since 2018. But after that, after we make a ceremony for opening, we close because we want to make a revitalization of this room.
I see.
So after pandemic, we make to open to public.
I see. Okay. And bicycles.
That's it. This is the transportation of the worker in plantation. They use this bicycle to their plantation. That's right. That's right. This is the more history about the tobacco. If you want to know about the tobacco, right? There are some people.
see,
This is how they bring some tobacco leaf from plantation. This is for packaging before they send to another country. That's right. The process of packaging, and this is the process of choose the best leaf of tobacco before they sell to another country.
And then drying it.
Yes, they're drying in the tobacco. And this is coming from palm oil history.
1930. And the new technology.
That's right. They changed the technology. We call it as the ontel. The name of the bicycle is ontel. People now, especially in Holland, they know about the ontel. And this is some picture, the old heritage building in Medan. Okay. This is the newspaper company, and this is Chong Afi.
Right,
This
okay.
is Chong Afi Mansion, and this is the Balai Kota or the government office at the past. And this is the Rotterdam Light Boat Company. Okay, this one too. So we have so many heritage building in Medan because we have so many history of plantation too, so many history of the Dutch colonial era in Sumatra. So we have so many heritage building. And this is the history of the first palm oil coming to Indonesia. Actually, the Holland is bringing palm oil to Indonesia.
Oh, really?
That's right.
From
the
where?
history. We have they have their museum too that we call is the Nijkerk. So Nijkerk is the company from Dutch who know about the palm oil, the first one in Indonesia, especially in Sumatra. This is some of their document. NVRCMA, the company's name. And this is what we call is as the spices. Maybe you know about spices. This is a rempah-rempah in Indonesian. This is the clove, and this is pepper, and this is cinnamons. This one is just in here in Sumatra, andaliman. In another city in Indonesia, they don't have this one, just in Sumatra. Okay, so why people have to come to our museum, especially Plantation Museum? Because the first one, our museum is one of the museum in Sumatra has used the heritage building. So not all of museum just use the new one building, but our museum has used the old heritage building. So people is really curious or interested to see how look like the heritage building in this room. So you can coming to our museum so you can see how the old building it's made.
Okay.
And you will more know about the plantation because especially in Sumatra, you have to know about the plantation, how they make some infrastructure in Medan like this day is coming from plantation era. So you will know about the history about that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. And that more or less brings me to the end of the tour of this museum. Cindy has gone back down to the main floor. I'm still up here on the 4th floor. So this is the level with it's very open here. You can see all the woodwork of the building. And this is where the clock tower is. And I'm waiting until 3 o'clock so that I can hear and see the bell chime. But now that the official tour is over, I'm going to go all the way through the whole museum a second time, just on my own, give me more of a chance to read everything and absorb a little bit more of the history. And maybe I'll have more to say after that, but we'll see. I may just leave it there. One thing, they give you this like a bracelet as your receipt, your ticket when you pay. They put that around your wrist, and mine has just soaked through with sweat and just kind of tore off my my wrist because it just got soaking wet because I've been sweating so much on this little tour. But that could be because I'm operating cameras at the same time. That tends to tire you out quite a bit and make you a lot hotter. And just now I was reading through the brochure a little bit and I got some interesting information, and maybe I'll end my video there and then with the chiming of the bell. It says that this building, as we know, was built in 1918, and at that time it was known as the Avros Building, which stands for the General Association of Rubber Plantations on the east coast of Sumatra. That was founded in 1910. So at the beginning of its establishment, rubber was a leading plantation commodity in East Sumatra, and that's how Avros was founded. But this museum, as you saw, is dedicated to all the crops that are grown in Sumatra. You know, started with rubber, but then coffee, sugar cane, and palm oil, all kinds of different spices, you know, all the different plantation products. And it says that the building was designed by G.H. Mulder, who I assume was a Dutch architect, and he had an architectural style influenced by rationalism in the early 20th century. So you get some interesting information in the brochure as well. So we're getting close to 3 o'clock. I better get into the clock tower room and see what the bells sound like. It's like I have a 2:59 on my watch, and we'll see what's happening in here. Wow, man, I needed a warning sign about that. I was standing here and then I saw the mechanism start to whirl around really, really fast. So I thought I wanted to catch a little bit of that on video. But just as I was lowering my camera to get that in the frame, then the hammer hit the bell for the first time, and it really startled me. Yeah, that was a real jump scare. That was so loud. Couldn't believe it. Yeah, there's the bells. Really interesting. So if you come here and you stick around for the bell, be ready for it. It's going to be loud. So yeah, there's the bells up above me. That was a very fitting way to end my tour of this museum. I enjoyed that a lot. To be honest, this place exceeded my expectations. I thought it would be interesting because of the history of the building itself, and I could see on the pictures that the different exhibits were very spacious, a lot of open space, and I really like that. As you can see up here on the 4th floor, you know, there's just a lot of room to move around, and a focus on the agricultural history of Sumatra, all the different types of plantations. So yeah, A+ from Planet Doug. Love this place. I really enjoyed my visit. The tour was really interesting. So if you're ever in Medan, yeah, come here to check it out. It's definitely worth the effort. And I'm going to go down into the Avros coffee shop and get a cup of coffee there after I walk through the museum again, just to take a second look at everything. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed that tour of the Plantation Museum, and I'll see you in the next video. figured that since the museum is all about the various plantations and all the crops, including coffee, and this Avros Cafe is part of the museum, I'd better have a coffee here before I go. And the really interesting thing is that this room, my guide, Cindy, told me, this room used to be the office for the head of Avros. This is where the boss worked. This was his office. And then his secretary's office was, behind those doors over there. And they took his rather large office here and turned it into a really nice coffee shop. And it continues with some photographs of plantation life in Sumatra. No, it's really nice. Oh, okay. Avros Cafe. An ice cappuccino?
Ice cappuccino?
Yeah, is that right? Yeah, cold. Ice, nice and cold. Okay, so. Oh, so my iced cappuccino came. When it was brought to my table, it had like dark, thick coffee along the bottom and then the milk on the top, and then you stir it all together. Now, I've already stirred it so you don't get the two layers, but I wanted to stir it up and get it nice and cold before I tried it. I think I could have 10 of these in a row if you line them up. I could finish off 10 of them without any trouble. Nice. Yeah, it's not sweetened, actually, not sweetened at all. Just has a nice coffee flavor. And while I was sitting here, my guide, Cindy, came over with kind of a postcard, and she asked me to write down my feedback about the museum. So I'm going to do that as I enjoy my coffee. And it got me thinking about the things that I really liked about this museum. I mean, I love the building. I mean, the building is a highlight for me, that it's actually in the Plantation's building, the organization that was involved in agriculture since the, 1800s, basically. So this building is amazing. It's worth it to come here just to see the building. And because this building has such high ceilings and so much space, that the exhibits feel very, spacious. There's a lot of room around the exhibits, and it feels very comfortable from that point of view. Cafe is wonderful, so the cafe is a really nice touch for the museum. Now, I've been to so many museums where after I visited the museum, I wanted to sit down and enjoy a cold drink, and then they may not have a comfortable area like this, so it's really nice, that they have that here. I like that the focus was on all the different plantation crops that they grew here. It got me thinking about the history of Sumatra, not just, palm oil or not just coffee, but it was all the various crops, coffee, tobacco, palm oil, tea, chocolate, cacao, spices, all the crops, that they may have grown here on Sumatra. I really enjoyed that. And probably more than any of that, I enjoyed the connection with shipping, the history of the huge Dutch liners, but because of course the Dutch had to ship products in and then take the products out. So the big Dutch ships would come to the harbor at Belawan to pick things up. So they have some information about that as well. They even have a model of one of the most famous Dutch ships here. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And a lot of good information in English too. So there's a lot of things. I love the clock tower up at the very top. So you really have to stick around for on the hour just to hear that bell ring. You just have to be prepared for how loud it's going to be, because it's very, very loud, and it will jump scare you like you're in a horror movie if you're not prepared for it. But that's all that occurs to me right now. Yeah, overall, yeah, really enjoyable museum. Really glad I came here today. And a really interesting tour as well, you know, that you get for your entrance fee. You get a guided tour and a bottle of water and your souvenir bag, which contained a little candle made from palm oil and tea as well from Sumatra. So that's it. Gonna enjoy my coffee, fill out my feedback card, and yeah. See you, as always, in the next video.